Hey guys, Marstingen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so Saiyan Day is obviously a day, but the celebration is in full swing still. The EZA for the LR Broly is going to drop sometime within the next 24 hours. Not entirely sure when exactly I'm going to put the video up, but I thought I would take a look at the celebration overall and then compare it to last year's one as well, which you can see we have up on the screen here. Basically just to kind of compare them, what sort of stuff that we got, and come to some sort of opinion as to which one was better overall. So if we have a look at the current one, obviously I'm sure you're all very familiar with this one since it's the one that's on right now. Very typical, you know, missions, login bonus, sales. The sales are pretty decent. Obviously for the normal like filler Dokkan Fests, we only ever get like the 3 91 packs and 1 32 pack. So obviously if you're a whale or somebody who likes to spend a little bit here and there, maybe even if you're not buying all of them, that's a pretty good set of sales. So then of course we have the Dokkan Fest, we have the support banner for the new category, which is very common for when a new category comes out. Kai banner, the event for the new unit. We got a new stage for Infinite Dragon Ball History. We got a couple of EZA area stages. We got the Int Gohan and then the AGL Kaioken Goku, who has not yet come out. A bunch of events obviously relating to the units on the banner. A bunch of story events came back. A couple of the EZAs came back for the units that were on the banner, and then some. This returned as well. Then, of course, this is an interesting one. This is going to be coming out in line with the actual EZA on both versions, which is interesting because JP did not get one of these for Goku and Frieza during the anniversary when they got their EZA. So it's kind of interesting that they're doing that for Broly. I wonder if this means that maybe we will get one of these for Goku and Frieza on Global. And then, of course, yeah, the EZA comes at the same time. And then we have the co-op campaign. There isn't a ton of information about what this is exactly, but I'm assuming because of the art used on here and what they showed on the Dokkan Now, part of the rewards for completing this will be the Broly and Goku wallpaper, which looks really awesome. And then, of course, we have everyone's favourite game mode, a new explosive chain battle. We are getting on Global the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan one. And then if we quickly have a look here, I did bring up the I didn't bring up the JP one actually, because having a quick look down here, I thought it was exactly the same this year, but JP is getting a explosive chain battle against Trunks, so I'm assuming it's the Trunks from the banner. So overall, not a crazy celebration, but we got a few things, like having a new Infinite Dragon Ball History stage is nice. That's a bunch of free stones for everybody. Obviously the banner, not necessarily great, but the 2 units are fantastic. So if we have a look back at the previous year, so obviously login bonus, special missions, the sales. Actually, let's compare the sales directly. So it was 532 and 791. Yeah, so we got 2 extra 91 packs. So if you're a whale, nice, I guess, a few more extra stones. Then we had the banner, again, the support banner, because Revenge was the new category, the new unit. We got a new story event for the getting the members of Team Bardock that was obviously spread across the first 5 days, because you could only do 1 member per day. There was a reset for Ultimate Clash, but it wasn't like Saiyan Day specific. I think the reset of like the new one just kind of lined up with Saiyan Day. Then we got on Global, the Super Battle Road is available every day. And then again, it was just a bunch of returning events. Now, the interesting thing, of course, I did mention this in a previous video where we were talking about Super Battle Road, but on JP, this is when JP first got the Extreme Super Battle Road, so the first 10 mono color stages, which are the ones we currently have on Global. So, I mean, obviously, pretty big difference there. Can argue that the celebration was definitely better overall on JP just because of that minor change, because 10 new stages of Super Battle Road, even if you're not a player that can necessarily beat all of them, that's a ton of extra content that is, you know, of a significant difficulty level that it will take you a while to potentially do it all. So overall, the campaigns are kind of similar, each one bringing the banner, a couple of new events and that kind of thing. So let's have a look. We have the banner up here for the current one. So obviously we've got the new Broly and the new Trunks. Then we got the Blue Boys, Bardock, Namek Goku, Kid Goku, and then of course we got to have some quote-unquote filler units. So we got the old physical Broly, and then the super old STR Broly. Physical Broly with his EZA is not bad, so once the same name update comes to Global, it'll be pretty cool to run him and the other one together. Obviously you can run the STR LR on the team as well. The fact that that update is out on JP already kind of makes the banner slightly more valuable, I guess, just because pulls of these last two aren't completely wasted, although I guess you could argue that pulling the STR Broly is still kind of wasted, but so the banner, not amazing. Obviously, it depends on your personal situation. For me, I didn't need any of the units except the new ones or the Blue Boys. But for the units themselves, obviously we have Broly. Hopefully at this point you guys have either pulled him or gotten to use him. He's insanely good. He's easily in the top 3, I guess it depends on your preferences, but I would say he's easily in the top 5. For me, he's easily in the top 3 of TURs in the game. He is insanely good. Finally, we have a Broly that actually has defense, so he's just super, super good. Just like Cooler, the fact that he's so good against like 75% of the game just makes him insanely good. A lot of people don't like his active skill because most of the time you won't see it until turn 5. But, I mean, if you get God Luck, you can see it on turn 3. But in a longer form event, you kind of want to save it for the end anyway and use it as kind of a finishing blow. So I don't personally mind his active skill all that much. And then, of course, the Trunks. I mean, the Trunks is a little bit ridiculous. First of all, he's a decent stand-in Hybrid Saiyans leader if you don't have, like, the tech Gohan. I would say because the overall card is so much better, even though his leader skill is lower, this guy is a better leader for Hybrid Saiyans than the STR Ultimate Gohan. But yeah, he's got insanely high stats. He has a ally super attack, which is pretty damn good, and he provides an insane amount of support for Hybrid Saiyans. So he's really, really good. Crazy to me that I am currently over like 1,000 stones deep in the banner and haven't pulled a single copy of him, but he does go into the general pool, so we'll get him eventually. Funnily enough, last year I didn't pull the Raditz either, so speaking of, this is last year's banner. So Bardock and Raditz were the 2 new units. The Go Bros, this was the first time they returned, just like the Blue Boys' first time returning on this one. I actually completely forgot Kid Goku was on this one as well, so he's been making his return. The physical future Gohan, he's kind of underrated. He is a lot better than people think he is, but he's not like a top tier Dokkan Fest leader at all. Same with Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, he kind of dropped off. Like, his only real use is leading the Super Saiyan 3 team. I still obviously like him because, you know, I love Bardock, but yeah, not great. And then, of course, we had the old EZA unit, which we have that on this banner. And then Frieza, I think he's only there because of the ties to, like, Bardock and the fact that Bardock has, like, the Wicked Bloodline related passive and stuff. But, like, him being on the banner was kind of weird, not gonna lie. So, Bardock, when he first came out, this is where we're going to start making some direct comparisons. So, when Bardock first came out, he was good. He was definitely in, like, you know, the top end of the Dokkan Fest category leaders. But, like, he didn't come out and immediately people were like, oh yeah, he's top 3 TURs in the game. So, whilst that obviously doesn't, you know, that doesn't make one celebration better than the other, but that's a factor to consider. Obviously, power creep is a thing, so you know, what the same celebration a year apart, the newer units are obviously going to be a lot more powerful, but just from initial reaction to how good the new units are in the meta, Broly is definitely much more impactful than Bardock. Because Revenge and Low Class Warrior, Revenge is an okay category, but it's a bit weird, and then obviously Low Class Warrior is super restrictive, and a lot of the units in it aren't that good. So, I mean, just by comparison of their leader skill, Broly is much better. And then Broly is just a better unit overall. And then Raditz can actually be good. Let's open his actual TUR page here. Raditz is really, really good for Super Battle Road. That is a fact. Like, for Extreme Tech, if you don't have Raditz, it's automatically so much harder. Because he gets this damage reduction and the 100% chance to stun against multiple enemies, which is insanely useful. But in a normal event, so most events in the game, when you're only facing one enemy, he gets an extra 100% attack and defense, which is decent. In fact, that puts him at 200% attack and defense, which is the essentially the same thing that this Trunks has. But then, of course, Trunks has the support, which he also gives himself. Raises attack and defense on Super, or greatly raises attack for the unit Super, whilst also infinitely stacking defense. So yeah, combining the two, this guy is really, really good in one specific mode in the game. And other than that, I don't think I ever use him for anything. Whereas that Trunks, if you get him, he's an auto-include on a Hybrid Saiyans team, or basically any category team that you can put him on where you're going to be running a whole lot of Hybrid Saiyans on that build. And then you could even argue that even if there's no other Hybrid Saiyans for him to support, he's so good, he could still actually warrant a spot on that team, although you probably will have better choices for supports if you're not running any other Hybrid Saiyans. But I think it's pretty obvious that Trunks is far superior to Raditz. So when we talk about the extra events that came around, so Infinite Dragon Ball History, we got the Formidable Saiyans stage. Pretty easy. I saw a lot of people in the comments to my video saying that they didn't find this one particularly challenging at all. I quite liked it. It was interesting to have like the evil Saiyans as a stage, and then obviously you get a decent amount of stones for completing all of it. So it was quite fun. I like the longer form events because it lets you try out some of those units with harder to fulfill restrictions for their active skills and transformations. But yeah, overall, I'm quite a fan of Infinite Dragon Ball History. It's a nice little event to do, and then having a bunch of different ones to try out is always fun when you want to try out new teams rather than just doing the same one over and over again. And then for last year's one though, this is where they introduced Team Bardock. So we had the free-to-play event where you can farm up the free versions of the units, and you could do one each day. You get them to 100% with their own orbs, and then on the final day, when you got the last one, which I believe was, yeah, it was probably Shugesh. Physical is the last day, isn't it? Pretty sure. Then you got the LR, and then I think there was it one extra copy was available at the time? And they've only added one more, so it's kind of annoying that we are now a year removed from this initial Saiyan Day, and we still don't have all of the copies for this in LR Bardock. I think the unit is cool. I got it to link level 10, and now it's just kind of sat there at 79%, waiting for those last two copies, and they didn't do anything this year to give us any extra ones. But speaking of LRs, so last year we got this new free-to-play LR from completing this event. This year we are getting an EZA for an LR, and obviously for Global, this is our first summonable LR EZA. So quite fitting that it is the STR Broly, because he was a Global first. I remember pulling him from his first banner back in the day when I didn't even have a channel. I didn't know, like, at that point I didn't understand what an LR pull really meant in terms of like the RNG and how unlikely you are to pull an LR, especially because I wasn't a massive whale back then. So I think I pulled a copy of him in like 300 or 400 stones, which was literally all the stones I had at the time. But big fan of Broly, so didn't realise how lucky I was back then. So, of course, the EZA for Broly, people have been talking about it a lot. We're going to have it available in the game very soon. Is absolutely insane. Like, he's really, really good. He's gone from being a unit that basically nobody ever uses except for maybe in the World Tournament to being in consideration for, like, the top tier of TURs. Like, probably, I would say, easily top 10. A lot of people are saying he's, like, top 5. I do want to get to use him in the game a little bit before I make that decision. But yeah, getting Global's first LR EZA is a pretty big deal. And the fact that it's Broly, he is a bit devalued on Global because the same name update isn't out yet. So you can't run this guy and the new Int one at the same time. But once that update comes out, that Broly team is going to be pretty insane. And of course, he's still going to be ridiculous for the World Tournament. But now he's useful in a bunch of other modes as well. So that was the sort of main features of each celebration. Let me know what you guys think down below. Which one do you think was better? I mean, Super Battle Road for me obviously holds a lot of sway because it is one of my favourite modes in the game. So Global did get shafted with that last year, but we at least got the stages are available every day, which for me, I think that should be a case all the time, right? Super Battle Road should not just be limited to the weekend anymore. I think that's really annoying. But yeah, JP actually getting the first like 10 Extreme Super Battle Road stages is a big deal. A whole new free-to-play team, so if you are free-to-play, or if you were new to the game, this gave you a whole new team for free that you could use to beat a lot of events in the game. So for newer players, maybe last year's Saiyan Day was better overall, because I don't think it's fair to rate an entire celebration based on the banner, because I think we can probably agree this year's banner is better than last year's, and like Broly and Trunks are way better than Bardock and Raditz. But with all the stuff that we got overall, maybe for JP you could say last year's was better, but this year's definitely is very good. There's no part 2. That's the thing that people got confused, I think, from the sub. Was it like the translations from the Dokkan now? But there's no part 2. The celebration is not far removed from being done, but overall it was pretty good. Remember that the Saiyan Day is always kind of like a filler celebration. It's not on the level of like the worldwide celebration or, you know, Golden Week or any of that kind of stuff. But overall, pretty good. Obviously the Broly is insane. Everybody's loving using him at the moment. So let me know what you guys think down below. Which of the two do you think was better? I would probably lean more towards, as a global player, I feel like I lean more towards this one, because at least they gave both versions the exact same one, so we weren't missing out on like a huge part of it. And obviously the Broly is insanely good. I do like Infinite Dragon Ball History. The wallpaper's sick. That's going to be my wallpaper once we get that. So let me know what you guys think down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.